Welcome back to another episode of Truth and Wellness. I'm your host, Pavel Gray. Thanks for tuning in today. We're diving into a fascinating subject that plays a crucial role in our overall health, glutathione. And joining me again is the very knowledgeable Dr. Kent. I'm thrilled to introduce our guest, a doctor of pharmacy and glutathione expert who's devoted his career to health optimization. How are you today, Kent?
Hey Pavel, I'm doing great and excited to be here. Glutathione is such a pivotal topic and one I think a lot of people don't truly understand, so it's fantastic to have this conversation.
Absolutely. For our listeners who might not be familiar, glutathione is often called the master antioxidant, and there's a lot of buzz around supplements and ways to boost its level in the body. Last time, we talked about muscle building after 30. Today, shifting gears a bit, we're looking at what works and what doesn't when it comes to glutathione. Kent, could you start by giving us a basic rundown on why glutathione is so vital?
Definitely. Glutathione is a tripeptide composed of three amino acids: cysteine, glutamate, and glycine. It's naturally found in every cell of the body. It's pivotal not only in detoxifying the liver but also in maintaining the immune system. It helps neutralize free radicals and peroxides, thus combating oxidative stress, which can lead to aging and numerous other diseases. It's integral to everything from cellular health to energy metabolism. Also, taking the amino acids cysteine, glutamate, and glycine independently will not raise glutathione levels because of the oxidation that occurs in the digestive system, especially because the amino acid cysteine becomes completely oxidized and thus destroyed. Low glutathione levels are linked to over 70 chronic diseases. At age 40, natural glutathione levels start dropping fast, and by age 70, they are often 70% lower than in your youth. The decline is linked to chronic disease, accelerated aging, a weakened immune system, and increased inflammation.
That sounds pretty comprehensive. Given its importance, you'd think we'd be talking about it all the time. Is there a particular reason we don't hear more about glutathione in everyday health discussions?
Interesting question. I think part of it is because while glutathione is crucial, it does its work behind the scenes. It's not as visible or immediately impactful as, say, vitamins or minerals, and many people aren't aware that they can be deficient in it. The body does produce glutathione naturally, but factors like aging, stress, poor diet, and exposure to mold and toxins can deplete those levels. It's not until these levels drop significantly that many chronic health issues can start manifesting.
Very true. And there's such a spectrum of factors that can influence this, which makes targeting glutathione levels seem a bit overwhelming. Before we unpack effective strategies, let's debunk some popular but less effective methods. There's a lot of chatter about glutathione supplements. What's your take on them?
Yes. Oral supplements are a hot topic. While they're widely available and often marketed as the quick fix, the issue is that they're not as effective because glutathione isn't well absorbed when taken orally. Once it hits the digestive tract, much of it is broken down, which diminishes its effect. However, there are some newer formulations that use technologies like liposomal and nanoencapsulation, which claim to improve absorption rates, but these forms of glutathione have very little research evidence that they work, and there are no robust clinical trials that exist. There is also no scientific evidence to show that glutathione mouthwashes work. None. Also, there is no robust scientific evidence that glutathione patches work. None at all. IV or intravenous glutathione does work, but its effect only lasts for literally minutes. These effects quickly disappear. Inhaled glutathione has been shown to work in some small studies, but it only works on the level of the lungs and it doesn't get to the rest of the body. It's always important to do careful research before starting any supplement.
That's critical information. I think it's easy for us to get swayed by marketing without understanding how things work at a physiological level. Are there any real-life examples where glutathione supplements haven't worked as expected?
Certainly. I've worked with many clients who initially tried boosting glutathione through traditional over-the-counter supplements and found little to no improvement in their symptoms related to oxidative stress, fatigue, slow recovery times, etc. It wasn't until we transitioned to more bioavailable forms, either through direct precursors like N-acetylcysteine or dietary modifications, that they experienced tangible changes. Simply put, it's not always about what you take, but how effective it is at a biological level.
That makes a lot of sense. Let's dive into those effective strategies you mentioned. You spoke about dietary modifications. What can listeners incorporate into their diets to support their glutathione levels?
One approach is incorporating sulfur-rich foods, such as garlic, onions, and cruciferous vegetables. Think broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and kale. These foods help increase levels of glutathione naturally. Additionally, foods rich in selenium like Brazil nuts, sunflower seeds, and fish also play a role in supporting glutathione function. Remember, it's not about any single superfood, but a consistent consumption over time that makes a difference.
Great to know. These foods are not only beneficial, but also delicious, making it easier to comply with.
They are, and I often emphasize balance. A diet that's too restrictive can lead to stress, counteracting potential gains. It's about small, sustainable changes that fit into everyday life. I'm a big fan of incorporating natural foods like asparagus and spinach into my diet to boost glutathione levels. Still, it's important to note that you'd have to eat a lot, think buckets full, to match the benefits of just one packet of my favorite supplement, immunocal, which I will talk about more in a minute. Also, if you love your broccoli cooked or blended into smoothies, be aware that these cooking methods break down cysteine, making it difficult for your body to absorb. To get the most glutathione out of these natural sources, they should be consumed completely raw, as any heat or blending can compromise the cysteine and limit its absorption.
That's a fantastic point. Are there specific lifestyle changes or practices you recommend that could synergize well with dietary efforts?
Absolutely. Exercise is a big one, as it naturally boosts glutathione levels due to increased oxygen usage in cells, promoting antioxidant production. Tai Chi or yoga can be particularly effective because they not only improve physical fitness but also reduce stress. Sleep is another pillar. Adequate rest has a profound impact on hormone production and detoxification, steps in which glutathione is directly involved. So maintaining good sleep hygiene is crucial. But the only safe, proven, effective way to increase your glutathione levels is through an all-natural supplement called immunocal. Immunocal is recognized by the medical community as a proven way to raise glutathione levels. It is a premium, undenatured form of whey protein which contains bonded cysteine. This is what raises glutathione levels. It has been proven by multiple research studies, published in top-class medical journals, and has dozens of international patents, and is a medically proven way to raise glutathione very safely. You have to remember that less than 15% of traditional oral glutathione supplements can be absorbed. In human clinical trials, immunocal was shown to raise glutathione by 35% in just 90 days.
I can definitely vouch for yoga's benefits and sleep. It's underestimated in our fast-paced world. Speaking of fast-paced, let's talk about stress. How does glutathione tie into managing stress levels, and what practical steps can folks take to ensure they're addressing it effectively?
Chronic stress increases oxidative stress, diminishing glutathione reserves. Managing stress becomes critical for maintaining healthy levels. Techniques like mindfulness, breathing exercises, or even short mental breaks during work can lower cortisol, reducing glutathione consumption. It's also important to engage in activities you love as a stress reliever. Consistency is key here. Developing a regimen, much like physical exercise, ensures longevity and results. Let's take a brief break to hear from our sponsor.
This episode of Truth and Wellness is proudly sponsored by Immunotech, your trusted immune health partner for over 45 years, offering cutting-edge glutathione research and a thriving global community to support your journey to healthier, happier living.
Great advice. I love the idea of incorporating stress relief into daily routines, almost like a ritual. It's something I've seen work wonders for my clients as well. Lastly, let's address environmental factors. Are there particular exposures or practices people should be mindful of to protect their glutathione levels?
Indeed, reducing exposure to toxins is necessary. These can range from household cleaning products to pesticides in foods. Opting for organic produce, when possible, and using natural cleaning products can help. Smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and prolonged exposure to pollution are significant glutathione depleters. It's about minimizing these exposures wherever you can, while also fortifying your body's defense with healthy habits.
Thanks, Dr. Kent. There's so much more to glutathione than meets the eye. I think our listeners will find this discussion incredibly insightful. I feel we've equipped them with practical steps that are doable. For anyone starting their journey with glutathione, what's the one piece of advice you'd leave them with?
I'd say focus on sustainability. Quick fixes are tempting, but building long-lasting habits that support glutathione levels is most rewarding. Adopt a holistic approach with your diet, activities, and mental health to see a greater impact over time. And remember, if you're presented with something that claims to raise glutathione, you need to do the following, and always ask for scientific evidence done on humans that proves that it works. Scientific evidence. That means something is published on human beings and this publication appears in established medical journals. Also, I will also include a link for a 5-day sample kit of the original immunocal and NRF2 flavor booster for people that want to get a feel for the taste and practice mixing the product before they commit to a monthly supply in the description section of this podcast.
Thank you, Kent. Wise words as always. And thank you to all our listeners who joined in today. Stay curious, stay healthy, and as always, keep seeking the truth and wellness. Until next time.